Now the election back and I'll die away. In short, this is what I have to say. Let us forget fights and grudges and concentrate. Come, let us sit and try to relate. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Grenada belongs to all of us, and we must do everything in our power to develop this place we call home. I want to welcome you to the Hub. Again, another opportunity that you and I have to talk, to speak about what is happening here, and to speak positivity, because that is what we want. We want you to understand that this is your home. And I make reference to Barbados, for example. Don't believe there isn't any murder or homicide in Barbados, or crime or criminality occurring in Barbados. Don't believe that. There's a lot of criminality taking place in Barbados, but the people are so educated. They understand the greater good. They know that they depend on tourists coming into the island and spending money. They also know that, generally speaking, people travel for peace. They want to go to a country where there is peace, low crime, and everything like that. So they will not just publish in the newspapers and on the TV and all over the place when a murder occurs or when some kind of crime takes place. They don't just run with stuff like that and publish it all over the place, because they know it can have implications down the road. So they're fully aware of that. But they're educated enough to understand that they have to protect the country, and it's for the greater good. So not because you have a cell phone, not because you're a reporter, a journalist, not because you're somebody in the media, it means that you need to run with everything and publish it. Sometimes you have to sit and ask yourself, what am I achieving at the end of my publication? What is my objective? Is it to damage my country? Is it to damage the good image of my country? Or is it to maybe be the first person to publish something like that? Sensationalism? What? What are you hoping to achieve when you publish stuff on your country that can be damaging, that can have long lasting impact? Sometimes we have to think big. Let's think about our country. You know, I took some time today and I just searched the amount of murders in St. Vincent, for example. They're 30 something. In St. Lucia, they're 20 something, high 20s, going towards 30. St. Kitts, 20. And we can go on and on. Don't even talk about Trinidad. 200 and how much? Jamaica might be about 400 or 500 or so. And we can go on and on. In nearly all those islands, save and except maybe Antigua, maybe. And Antigua's population is way, way, way small, right? But Grenada is not, when compared to the other islands, is not ranking very high when it comes to murders, when it comes to homicide, right? So do not talk your country bad like this. I listened to a former minister of government, but now a senior person within NNP today. And when you listen to the individual, you wonder if he's talking about Trinidad or Jamaica, right? Or St. Vincent, right there. Or one of those other Caribbean islands. And then you say to yourself, but why they're painting this bad picture of crime for Grenada when that is not the case when compared to the other islands? And for example, Jamaica, you have 500 and 600 and 700 people being murdered there per year. And when you ask how many tourists visit Jamaica, it's a lot, right? I don't know the exact figure, but a lot, even if they have that amount of murders and crimes taking place there. So there are some people who is hoping that by going out there and make people believe that things are so bad in Grenada when it comes to crime and so on, they believe that less tourists will come here and the economy will suffer. So the government will collect less revenue and then things will fall apart. That is what they believe, Don't fool yourself, Do not fool yourself into believing that these people are genuinely concerned about crime in the country or genuinely concerned about Grenada. They're hoping by going on radio, by going on TV and bad mouthing Grenada, talking Grenada bad, painting Grenada in a bad light as though the crime here is so high. When they do that, they believe less tourists will come here, less people will come here and spend money, and the government will collect less revenue in taxes, right? That is what they believe. And then it will have some ripple effect. A friend is saying Jamaica got received over 2 million visitors or tourists. Well, they normally receive about 2 million per year. That's what a friend is saying, right? But that's the whole thing behind the NNP in particular, the surrogates of the NNP, some of those pundits going out there and paint this grim outlook on crime for Grenada. But we are a very safe island or islands, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, a very safe destination. And we do not have this high crime rate in Grenada when compared to the other islands. So we are fairly safe and peaceful in Grenada. And the RGPF, the Royal Grenada Police Force, they have a very high crime solving rate. Look, for example, today they had a press conference and they already announced they have somebody in custody for that crime in St. Paul's. They have somebody in custody for the crime in St. Andrew, the teacher. They have somebody in custody for another matter, uh, another murder. So it's not that they're not catching the people, But when you talk about cross-border criminality or crime, it is very difficult because we have a very open border, so to speak, very porous, right? And anybody could pop in here. We don't have the amount of coast guards and boats and whatever to monitor and patrol our border like that. We need to use more technology, right? So you don't need to have a million coast guards out there or boats out there, but with the technology you can see all the boats that coming in, and once they don't indicate, then you then pursue them because the technology is so good these days that you can actually with satellite see all the boats that's coming into Grenada right wrong, because Grenada is surrounded by water. But you need to invest in that kind of technology and it will cost a lot. But I am simply saying when you have matters like a boat coming here or somebody who's a captain of a boat or involved in trade moving to and from Grenada, they may do something and go to another island. And a lot of those matters are drug related. And I am no expert, but it's clear. Drug related. Nobody gonna go and shoot somebody nine times like that or 10 times. Nah. Nobody gonna go and shoot somebody in a vehicle and leave the woman right there. So the lady in the vehicle, they shoot the man and they gone. Come on. So we could kind of think too. There are a lot of these things that are drug related. There are a lot of people with big business and, they're living their life. But how they making the money is the next question. They're using the business to wash the money. But how they really making the big dough, the big dollars, it's dirty money. They exist in the underworld, so to speak. So I am saying we need to understand when we publish stuff, when we go on programs and start talking our country bad, it can have medium to long term impact on the image of our country. And we know that there are a lot of people in Grenada who really want the government to fail. So things like that, they would run and talk about it on social media, on radio, on TV, with the hope that less tourists will come to Grenada and government will collect less in revenue, and then it can have a ripple effect on the amount of revenue that government collects on an annual basis to meet the commitments, to pay salaries, to pay bills, and keep things going. There are a lot of obstructionists who are working on that because they don't care how they get power. They just want power. They want to get back in government. And they don't care whether when they get back there, he mash up. And they might be guilty of helping to mash it up, to bring it on its knees. That is how desperate some of these people are. But I am simply saying, folks, the RGPF has a good track record of solving crime or crimes in Grenada. And you have to give them that. And our people have been very helpful in providing information to the Royal Grenada Police Force to catch those culprits. And we must take credit for that. It might take some time for some matter. And don't expect the police to work magic. They are not the juju man or the obia man or the obia woman. So don't expect them to see anything in an hourglass or some mirror. Some crime will take some time to solve. All right? And I find some of the journalists, they need to train them some more when it comes to press conferences involving the police. They need to train them some more. They need to know what to ask, what not to ask. Because, come on, if a matter is being investigated and the police start telling you everything, then they prejudice the outcome of the case. In other words, they're trying the case even before it is tried before the court or in a court of law. So you're asking all kind of details and all kind of stuff. And it's an ongoing investigation. So there is a need to train some of the people in the media to at least understand what they can and cannot ask. Because sometimes you listen to the press conferences and you say, why? Why are journalists asking that? Right? They should know better. But folks, we are still living in paradise. We are still living in a peaceful country. Our crime rate is fairly low. But we must keep it down. And we must help the police in solving crimes. And that is all I would say on that. Let me now feature something very positive, because that is what we're trying to do as we move ahead. Let's go to Carriacou.
Travel between Grenada, Carriacou and St. Vincent and the Grenadines has become much easier with the launch of the 19-seater Twin Otter aircraft. It will operate on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. The flight schedule has been strategically designed to cater to the needs of both business and leisure travelers. This ensures that passengers have a wide range of options to suit their travel plans, and the possibility of introducing a daily service is being evaluated. The government of Grenada understands the importance of providing affordable travel options without compromising on quality, and as such, the Twin Otters flight route offers competitive pricing. One-way fare Grenada to Carriacou is EC $186.30 and a return fare is EC $372.60. Because the Grenada Twin Otter is part of a combined fleet, whenever there are special events, major festivals and holidays, additional aircraft can be added to the deal with the demand during busy periods.
All right, that's good. That's really good. I want to commend the Honorable Tevin Andrews for working very hard to get these flights to Carriacou. And I know he's working on night landing. I know only recently they had some experts visit Carriacou to assess and then to make recommendations and so on. So that's really good. And look, you want that if you live on an island. You want to have a number of flights. Yes, you have the boat, but that will take some hours to get here. The flights, by the time you go up, you come down. It is faster and more effective. So again, I want to commend him, and we hope to see night landing in Carriacou very soon. I know they're working on that, and that is what the people of Carriacou and PT Martinique deserve. All right, let's move to Women Can Fish.
I am a level 2 swimming instructor. When I saw this initiative, I took it upon myself to learn a little more about fishing because I am also a owner of a boat, and I am into agro processing, so I wanted to go a little further, maybe go in and get my own fish and come in back and processing it, whichever is smoked or dried corn. I would have learned a lot today. I learned a lot on road safety. I learned to navigating, also to use a GPS. I also learned a little bit more about an outboard engine and safety. And it's a big responsibility because the captain is responsible for the crew. And today with me, I got the opportunity to do this course with my husband and my son. Thank you. It's really important for fisher folks to know road safety at the sea. Also navigating, for example, the different lights. When should you put up your lights? When you're going out to take your marker from your GPS so you can come back safe, like your waypoint, you can also mark it. So if you're leaving Melville Street Fish Market, you can put a marker, and when you're on your way in, it would bring you right back, and that would help to alleviate the accidents at sea. Like for example, we had fisher folks that would go out to sea and they wouldn't come back in, and sometimes you cannot find them because you don't have any way to communicate with them. So we would have learned a lot here for this week, and I encourage all fisher folks to, whenever the opportunity to come around, don't worry about making the money. I know that you want to go out and make the money, but it's better to know what your safety first. So when you learn you have better knowledge, to go out and come in safe with your crew.
That's the way to go. If you ask me, that's the way to go. A lot of training taking place, a lot of opportunity being made available for Grenadian brothers and sisters. So while the NNP out there saying, well, nothing is happening, our people are receiving training, or receiving opportunity, receiving the assistance required to make it outside there.
We're here to support our present production facility and creating a whole project around use of drones and UAS solutions in agriculture. So we're working with the FAO in Grenada and in some other Caribbean islands. And so far it's been very successful. We've already created the technical component, and we will be developing some policy and manuals and operational manuals to support this initiative. But what we're doing right now is actually working on some of the actual flights, the practicals. So we will be flying those drone training key personnel in the different ministries, Ministry of Agriculture, disaster response, in the use of the UAS solutions and the drone solutions to support their work that they do. And of course a big part of that will be providing them with that technology and that software and that know-how. In terms of agriculture, the solutions that we have or that will be trained will allow the users to even determine right down to the health of the crops. From a disaster response, you can do things like elevation modeling to determine where flood zones are and capture data very, very quickly in terms of three-dimensional models, in terms of different accessibility, where traditional methodologies of capturing that data would not be an option.
Right, so things are happening for agriculture. Things are happening for fisheries. Things are happening for the farmers. But the NNP is still out there saying to you that nothing is happening. That is what they have been doing over and over again, telling you that nothing is happening in Grenada. But people are able to see. That is what is important. People are able to see that things are happening. Work is being done. Work is being done. And that, to me, is remarkable. We saw in Karaku, for example, and I'm looking for it here, the amount of work that is taking place in Karaku, and still the NNP's out there telling people no, things are not happening. Every time they're on a program, it's just to badmouth government. And I say to them, look, with technology, you will try to undermine the NDC government, but you will not succeed. Because only today a friend said to me, well, they complaining. But why the people not protesting? Why the people not mobilizing and organizing to raise awareness on what the NNP is saying is happening? It is just a farce, it's just a lie by the NNP. They're out there only telling lies, the NNP pundits and surrogates. Because if something is so bad, then you'll have it out there. You'll be out there talking about it. People are going to be mobilizing and organizing to highlight these things. But the evidence is not there.
Minister for Carriacou and Petit-Martinique Affairs, Honorable Tevin Andrews. Today we are on one of the sites that infrastructure development, road in particular, has been done in Carriacou and Petit-Martinique. We've just visited the Monjalo site as well. As Minister, give us your take on what is happening in Carriacou and Petit-Martinique.
Well, first of all, I'm happy that all these road projects are taking place on the island, not just on the island of Carriacou, but also in Petit-Martinique. We have over 2,000 feet of roads that's in motion. And let me just say, I am in no way taking praise for the road projects that are happening. I mean, the reality is government responsibility is to do this, build the infrastructure of the country. So I'm happy to play a part in doing so. And hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars are being spent to improve the infrastructure in Carriacou and Petit-Martinique, from Bel-Air to Lawrencetown to Leicester, all over the island. There's work taking place. And what I'm happy about is the spill-off, the job creation, the young men and women that are employed on the site, the businesses that are impacted, that are positively impacted as a result of the infrastructural work that is taking place. So anything to help to impact the economy in a positive way, I'm all excited about that. So yes, and of course, speaking to the residents of the area that will be positively impacted as a result of the roads that are being built, they are very excited and happy, because for years they've been clamoring, asking the former representatives, the ministry, for roads, and nothing has been done. And I'm happy to play that part in ensuring that after years of them pleading for the road, that something is being done. But over the next couple of months into my term in office, in a couple of years, certainly we will continue to ramp up the amount of road projects that we're doing, and generally the infrastructure on the island. So I'm excited about this, and as I said, politicians should not be taking praise for the infrastructural work that is taking place in the constituency or in the country. This is what we were elected to do, and I'm happy to serve. I'm happy to be doing all of this.
One of the things, spill-off, we've seen from the widening and improvement in and around the town of Hillsborough is a beautification project which the Nexa Credit Union partnered with the ministry to get done. Persons have been praising the ministry and Nexa for getting that done, but they want to know, would they be able to see a replication of that happening throughout Carriacou and Petit-Martinique to change the way, the aesthetic of the island?
Certainly. So I've got so there are a number of businesses that have shown interest in beautifying different areas in and around the town of Hillsborough and throughout Carriacou. So certainly the project will expand. Various government agencies, along with private businesses, banks, and so on, have gotten on board. So in the not too distant future, you will be seeing more beautification projects taking place. But I just want to pause here a minute just to see that if we are serious about the beautification project, we also have to do something about the loose animals on the island. So I'm appealing to the farmers of Carriacou and Petit-Martinique, please, The ministry will engage farmers to find an amicable solution to deal with the loose animals on island, so that we could really try our best to assist in the general aesthetics of the island in terms of the beautification projects. So certainly the projects will expand. I know that an entity is interested in beautifying the Windward area. I know another one is interested in doing some beautification in Brunswick, Batty's Cross. And I know one is interested in doing some beautification in Mount Pleasant at the cross, the intersection there by the school. So there's a number of people that are in there that are getting on board, and I'm all excited about that.
Okay, outside of infrastructure development, persons have been asking the speed at which the ministry is going in terms of road development in particular. What other things can they expect in terms of development for Carriacou and Petit Martinique?
Well, a number of things. I know that we've been placing a lot of emphasis on scholarships to try to encourage our young people to study in particular areas, especially in the medical areas, because there's some exciting things to come. For example, we'll be getting our own medical lab on island, so that no longer we have to travel. People have to take blood and send it to Grenada. We'll be able to do that right here on island. But we have to encourage our young people to study in the area so that we can take advantage of what is to come. Some exciting things to do with boat building. Some work will be done there. We have some exciting news as it relates to the new TAMCC that will be coming to Carriacou. You see some emphasis being placed on the fishing sector on island with the infrastructure work that's taking place in Windward with the Windward Fishing Center. You see some work taking place on the jetties that will be built around the island. 2 in Windward, one for the fishermen at the fish market, the other one for the passengers that comes to and from Petit Martinique, and of course the Hillsborough jetty. This is all of those part and parcel of things that will be done. The night landing facility. The possibility of night landing at the Lawrencetown Airport. This is something that we are aggressively working on. As a matter of fact, the folks from ECA came here, looked at it, and very soon after the studies come back, we will be rolling out this project so that finally we can do night landing in Carriacou. Certainly there is a tourism plan and a package that will be rolled out very soon for Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And some very exciting news which I prefer to hold back until, but finally Carriacou is getting the respect that it deserves, and some very exciting news about Sandy Island, the possibility of an underwater sculpture park, and many other things that is coming to Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And I can go on and on as it relates to the future development of the island. But yes, so one step at a time. One step at a time.
Thank you so very much.
Well, I'm feeling very happy. After a lot of years I've been going through problems with the water coming down, the mud had to be shoveling every time it rained heavy, and I've been begging for even a drain, and they keep on promising, nothing. And thank God after this government come, it's been 1 year, I could say no more shoveling of mud. Finally, I got what I was asking for the past 10, 12 years.
Thank you very much.
So congratulations to the minister and the government. Thanks very much.
As a citizen of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, can you give us your take on what's happening?
Yeah, I'm very pleased with what I've seen so far. I'm especially happy to hear Carriacou in the news every day. Previously, Carriacou was called in passing. Now it's been called every day. As a matter of fact, I was listening to Kim yesterday, and the lady from Grenada says she's hearing so much about Carriacou now she wants to move to Carriacou. That is a good thing. As far as the projects, I mean, I'm really, really pleased with it. They've done a hell of a job in 12, 13 months. And I know there's a lot more to be done. I can't wait to see the finished product.
Everything is right, yeah, everything is right. A lot of well we know, a lot of work going on. Everybody could see it. Once you're by to see. Who can't see, well, maybe they want to see, but a lot of work going on. We truly appreciate it. But we truly never see before. Let me say that. Right? Things we never see before we happen now. For instance, when I drive through town, And I look at how they open all the corners and things like that. Oh, nice, man. You could see anything from a distance. But you know that before when I was accident and now you have less accident now, especially around the corners and things, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, so folks, a lot of things are happening, not only here in Grenada, but in Carriacou and PT Martinique. And still for all, the NNP will be out there telling you nothing is happening. And all they do is to criticize, all they do is to badmouth the government because they believe that is the way they will get back power, by badmouthing the government, by criticizing the government, by having their supporters complain, grind and groan. And you know, amazingly, the same supporters who are complaining about the free tuition, their children actually received free tuition. Today I learned of about 9 of them who normally call radio programs and criticize the government and who called and criticized government's move to make tuition free. Their children now attend TAMCC and NULO, and they, the same pundits and surrogates of NNP, don't have to pay that $810 or $750 for NULO. So they're benefiting, but still they're more concerned about their party, not the country. So all the good initiatives of government, they will not applaud it. They will not commend it. Because to them, all they can see is their party. They want their party back in power. Even if their party made them poor, keep them poor, and vulnerable. All they want is that same party back in power. So the roads are being fixed properly now. They don't care about that. You have schools being built, refurbished, expanded. They don't care about that. New teaching hospital on the way. They don't care about that. Medical stations and so on being refurbished, reconditioned, repaired. They don't care about that. Free tuition support for the students. They don't care about that. Grenadian history returning in our classrooms. They don't care about that. What they're concerned about is gossip. What they're concerned about is complaining. What they're concerned about is their party that they won back in power. Pension and gratuity paid, they don't care about that. 13% for public workers in terms of increase, they don't care about that. Wage adjustment, minimum wage adjustment for our working people to get a better salary, they don't care about that. And we can go on and on and on. They don't care about all the good things that are taking place in the country. 100% concession for creatives, people in the creative industry. And still the NNP don't care about that. All they're concerned about is getting back into power. That's all they want. To get back in power, to do mischief, to get back in power, to victimize people, to get back in power, to send people home. The NNPs are accustomed to that, sending people home, spiting people, victimizing people, going after people. The NNP administration, they are dangerous like that. So that's all they're interested in on all programs they go. Is just criticize, 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 criticize. How could you be a responsible opposition and not even suggest or, make a recommendation for anything? Because period, you're not doing anything to help anybody or to help this country. All you do is to complain, 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 grind and groan, grind and groan. In other countries, opposition parties are mobilizing resources, to help the people of the country. But the NNP not doing that. They're not doing that. Only making melee, only making confusion. Look at the amount of Grenadians in the diaspora and here at home who gave out uniform, school supplies, bags and notebooks and pens and pencils and Kieran and just name it, shoes and vests and socks, and Grenadians home and abroad mobilize resources to help people in the community. But why the NNP can't do that? We saw the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette visiting schools in a constituency that Keith Mitchell, that old cock, that old, Guo, right? That Morocco, in my belief. He has been there for 40 or so years, right? And it took Jonathan Lacrette to visit the schools in that constituency and give them a whole pile of money, those schools, to help them for the new school term, the new school year, not just the term, but the year. So it took Jonathan Lacrette to come and do that here. He'd been there for donkey years. You ask him, why not do something even better? Why not do something even better? But he's not going to do that. No. It took Jonathan Lacrette to do it.
So I am here this morning at the Grandma Preschool with the principal and staff and also students, and there are some parents here as well as they drop off their children for the first time at the school. The St. George Northwest Council was formed so that we have a wider representation throughout the entire constituency of persons in the various communities representing their communities. And as a result, this morning I am here on behalf of the St. George Northwest Council. Being the head of the council, I am presenting a check for $2,000 to the Grandma Preschool at the start of school so that they can use it to purchase any supplies that they need to carry them through the rest of the term. So, Ms. Yvonne, and that your principal is not here, I'm sure that you are collecting on behalf of her, and I am presenting on behalf of St. George Council this check for them.
Well, on behalf of the Grandma Preschool staff and principal, who's not here but I'm sitting in, I would like to say thanks to Senator Lacrette, who has actually adopted the school. But I think we go way, way back when, and I really appreciate it. And we just would do a lot for the children to buy school supplies and other things. Thank you once again.
On behalf of the St. George Northwest Council, Ms. Court, I would like to present you with this check for $3,500. You and your staff.
So I want to say thank you, Honorable Jonathan Lacrette, for gracing us with your presence this morning and for giving us this generous donation this morning, which is so unexpected. A pleasant surprise, and I can tell you it will go into good use to benefit all the stakeholders of this school. Thank you so much.
We do have a chairman and an executive, and the chair so graciously obliged for me to be here this morning to present this check of $3,500, to the principal and staff of the Happy Hill Primary School so that you can use it. so that you can use it for assistance throughout the school term. So Mr. Francis, on behalf of the council, God bless you and your staff and your school, and we trust that you're going to have a successful academic school year.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Lacret, for this donation. And I know it's really going to go a long way because we have lots of things to be done at the school. Once again, on behalf of the staff and the students, thank you very much for such.
I want to present this check for $5,500 to the principal, staff, and students so that it can assist you in whatever it is that you have to do throughout the term. And I'm very grateful and delighted to do so. So this is the end of my presentation. God bless you.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
I would, on behalf of the school, all teachers, students, all stakeholders of the Hatfield Secondary School, I would like to convey special thank you to Senator Lacret. It's a lot of money, don't you agree?
Yeah.
5,000. To begin the school year with $5,500 is a really nice surprise. Let us give Senator a round of applause. Senator, again, I'd like to thank you. Quiet, everybody, for your unwavering commitment to this institution. Apart from that, and that's just a sum total of money that we're getting this morning, but Senator has pledged to do much more.
The council felt that seeing that this is the start of the new school year, that a monetary donation to all schools would go a very long way in procuring materials or resources that would help throughout the school term. So on behalf of the St. George Northwest Council, of which I head, the chairman is not here this morning because he's also a teacher, so he had to be at his school, but the deputy chair is here. They have given me the permission to go ahead and to present on behalf of the council this check of $2,000 to the initiative preschool.
Thank you. Minister, on behalf of the students and staff, we would like to appreciate to tell you how much we appreciate it, and this will go a long way into furthering the cause here. So once again, we thank you for all your efforts and all of your donations and everything. Thank you so much.
The council felt it best that seeing that school is now embarking on its new academic school year, and that we have preschools, primary schools, and one secondary school throughout the constituency, that it would be prudent to deliver to these schools a financial contribution to assist with the running of the operational processes for the rest of the term. So we hope it's going to go a long way. The council has a chairman, and the chairman is also an educator, so he couldn't be here this morning, but the deputy chair is here, Mr. Divine, and the chairman has released me to present it on the council's behalf. So on behalf of the St. George Northwest Council, I would like to present this check for $3,500 to the she took a deep breath, for $3,500 to Ms. Tilbury, to you and your staff and the students.
So on behalf of myself and staff and the students of TLC Academy, I would like to say a hearty thank you to Minister for gracing us with his presence this morning and for bringing along such wonderful gift to our school. We appreciate it very much, and whatever we do with it, we're going to make it useful for the school and for the students. So once again, I'd like to say thank you to all those who are involved in the council and to Minister.
All right, so again, kudos, thumbs up to the Honorable Jonathan Lacret. Remember, he did not win that seat, right? the same Morocco, the same old cock, he won that seat, right? And for about 40 or so years, he has been in charge of that constituency. But look who is actually giving back to, to that constituency and who continue to do a lot of things for the residents of that constituency, the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette. I want to, at this point, extend my deepest condolences to the family of that individual who report surfacing that body was found, or a body was found in a Marion area, and it's believed to be that of the student at SGU who went hashing. And from the news tonight, a number of people who were there hashing to indicated that he appeared not feeling well, even while on the hash, right? And it's sad that a body was found in that area where they were actually looking for him. So it's believed to be that of him. So I do want to extend my deepest condolences to the family and friends of the said individual. All right. So again, the police will do the investigation, but just on the news tonight, we heard either one or two persons who were actually on that hash speaking, talking about, he appeared to be somewhat not well while on the hash, right? During the hashing. So that is what we heard. But the police will do the investigation. But I think it came across on the news. One of those news tonight. I saw it briefly. So we hope that in the future, when they go hashing, they can at least take the name of everybody who with them doing the hash. Like you have a little notebook or something. So you have the name of everybody. So after you complete the hash, you can verify. And hash is just hiking. Like you're hiking. There's different tracks and so on that they would hike, right? So people go for the exercise and the social vibes and so on. But I'm saying maybe in the future, as they hash, they can maybe go with a notebook of everybody who with them. Because you normally have a lot of people hashing, huh? So you can maybe have a book with all the names of the people, let them sign and so on. And you see them start and you make sure that they finish. And if they don't, then you would have to go back for them and go and look for them. Because I am certain if that news of the individual not appearing that healthy or that well while hashing, and they went back the same time, around the same time, maybe you would have been alive today. Maybe. And if the body that they found is actually him, right? So it's believed to be him. Just saying. And that's just my little take for the different groups going hiking or hashing. You should maybe, just maybe, carry with you a book, right? A book to record. Right, my good partner Pele saying the hash protocol calls for all hashers to be accounted for. That's what Pele Dabo, my good partner, is saying there. So, I'm just thinking aloud that maybe that's something that can be considered in going forward. Somebody saying with the heat wave in the recent past, I believe folks should not go hashing. There's another person, Maria, is saying that, right? So again, I want to suggest that, you if you're the leader of the whole group, you can maybe have some people at the end and some people at the beginning, so they can either go slow today or go fast today, and you can account for everybody on the trail wherever you all are going hashing. That's important. Because what I heard there tonight from the news, I think they were interviewing a young lady and another one, and I heard that young lady made mention of seeing the individual and so on, and it appeared as though he was not totally well, right? So again, we extend our deepest condolences to the family and friends of the individual, that body that is believed to be this student at SGU, right? Really sad there. But folks, we have to pull the curtain down at this point. Zoe, where you going with that big dress? Huh? Come, pass this way. All right, Zoe, one big dress day. So what the night? Come, watch where you going. Watch your foot. Come now. Watch where you going. Watch, yes. Watch what you wear. Right. Say good night to you. Look. All right. Say good night. When you put on this thing here to say good night to you, what? What's in there? Eh? Say right here. Look here. Right? Look here. Right here. Nice. Wave. Wave for them. Wave. Say bye bye. You got bye bye now. So you have to wave here. Here you have to wave. Watch me. Hello. Here. Zoe. Watch your camera here. This way you. There's a camera. Wave here. Yes. All right, folks. So you have to pull the curtain down at this point in time. Take good care and bye for now. Have a pleasant night. Take good care. I'll be back with you.